One really easy sentence structure technique to look out for is questions. You can't fail to spot a question. So the first thing is that it could be a rhetorical question. And let's look at the classic rhetorical question: had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead to live all free men? And you may well know the story of how Caesar, who was ruler of Rome, was killed by some of the Roman citizens because they thought he was getting a bit too powerful. And after he died, Mark Antony stood up to defend that. And he's done it really cleverly, because there's not a lot of people who are going to turn around and say, obviously, I would hugely have preferred to be a slave. Once you start using emotive language like slave and free, you're not really looking at two equal options here. It's a bit like your teacher saying to you, do you want to pass your Nat 5 English? It's not really a choice. Now, sometimes people say the rhetorical question is a question to which there isn't an answer. I would stop thinking of it in these terms now that you're in secondary school and think of it as a question designed to persuade. So here's an example. Analyse how the writer's sentence structure helps to convey his views on the Paddington story. And can there be a better model than Mr. and Mrs. Brown for the opening and welcoming Britain to which we should aspire? Or than Paddington himself with his polite manner and sunny optimism for the kind of temper citizens should have? So we've got a rhetorical question here. In fact, we've got two of them, with the expected answer to can there be a better role model being no, of course not, designed to persuade the reader to share the writer's positive view of Paddington and the Browns. So the use of the question is designed to persuade and to persuade us that it's a positive thing. Not all questions are rhetorical. For example, what drives Jessica Ennis, the Olympic gold medal winner? Now, that's not a rhetorical question. That's not about persuading us about anything. But it is designed to get us to intrigue and engage the reader thinking, oh, that's a good question. I wonder what the answer is. I'll read the next bit of this article. And closely related to this, some questions work as topic sentences. What next? What's the appeal? And some could even work as link sentences, because a question is still a kind of sentence. For example, so if we can't stop driving, how can we make it more environmentally friendly? And here, we're really looking at a link. If we can't stop driving, links back to the previous topic of how important cars are to us. And how can we make it more environmentally friendly? Links forward to the next topic of green motoring options. I haven't even had to read the rest of the article to be fairly sure that this is what this sentence is going to be doing. So in conclusion, questions could do three things. They could be rhetorical and designed to persuade. So what are they trying to persuade us about? They could be there simply to engage and intrigue the reader. They could be there to introduce the next idea.